William Jackson, William Street, Norfolk. I don't like being branded a racist because I oppose the appointment of a convicted felon to a $98,500 a year job. Other than that, I've been trying to get one question answered and I can't find anybody that will tell me. Maybe Ms. Williams can. I'd like to know what the man's education is. Okay? Other than that, I'll just say that I'm opposed to his appointment.
My name is Rebecca Moose. I'm wondering what the standard for hiring people in our city is. I'm a federal employee. You can see that from my badge. We have a standard, just as any other city employee when you come in. I don't think it's fair to all the people who drive the garbage trucks or serve in a police cruiser to not be held to the same standard. If this person went through the same hiring process as everyone else, why would each of you not know what his past was? I'm not saying that he's a bad man or that he's not the right man for the position, but what I've read in the paper over the last week and a half is that this council has no idea about the background of a person we've hired to lead a brand new program in our city. I live in Denby Park. Terrible environment. Yesterday, 6 cruisers go down the street because a cop's being beat up. If this is what we have, taking care of our city, we have a problem because you're not doing your jobs. I live there. I'm sure you all have issues in your neighborhoods too. Please, make sure that you get qualified people to do the job and make sure that when you do it, you know what's going on. You look like all over the map in the paper. Every one of you has something different to say and nobody is taking responsibility. If you hired him, say, yeah, fine, I hired him, I stand wholeheartedly behind him, I want him to do a good job, give the man a chance. Not half and half. I sat in a meeting with you. You asked us to give you our problems from our neighborhood with the man sitting beside you. I'm sitting there completely honest with you, letting you know what's going on. And what do I get back? You don't support him fully. The rest of you don't.
I do.
Fully support him. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you fully support him and this is who you want there, then make that decision and come out with it cold and clean. If you don't, then do what you need to do. But the unrest in our community is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Thank you.
My name is Danny, D-A-N-N-Y, so everybody gets it the paper right this time. Lee, L-E-E, Ginn, G-I-N-N. It's hard for the world. It's really not Jen. They want to make you Jen and they want to be married to Ty. It's Ginn. Okay? I'm back again. Really didn't want to be back. But I'm kind of confused here. Okay? I've heard these nice people talk about the terrific stuff that Mr. Albert's done over the last 15 years. What an honorable, upstanding individual. How he's turned his life around, and we all commend him, without doubt. I've heard people say, he's touched my life. In his job and second chance, he's made a difference. I don't understand why he's not still there. Why are you taking a man who has done an exceptional job out of his position? Why is he not there still to help people? I'm confused. I'm confused with Mrs. Williams. I'm not confused that we have the position that was created. I'm just confused that we have a certain standard that all individuals, we assume, in city council meet. You do background checks, you do information, you put people who have been in that position. I mean, when you hired Mrs. Williams, you spent thousands of dollars to have headhunters give you recommendations of these people. why is this individual not held up to the same standard? No one is kind of saying, throw this man out. Let him do what he's been doing, and let him do it exceptionally, and let's all recognize that. I had the feeling that if Mr. Albert is the honest and upstanding man that he has been projected, and he realizes that maybe this is the wrong choice at the wrong time, that he will be honorable enough to simply step aside and help us all. If he does that, these people think it's funny. I don't particularly think that that's the case. Also, Mrs. Williams, I think, has had a real tough year from everything with her husband, and that's been difficult. And I think that it has taken away from her position to be proactive. It is not the first time that there have been complaints. And this simply adds to it. And I think, reading the fact that she has 8 grandchildren, she would have a lot to do if she stepped aside. I think the fact that she teaches at a lot of colleges, that it may be also, as honorable as she is, to also consider stepping aside. Thank you. Charles Brewer, I would put one more thing in. You are city council. We have elected you to make the decisions, the hard decisions. And we count on you to make the hard and right decisions for all the citizens.
Thank you.
Members of council, my name is Chuck Brewer. I live at 222 Beck Street in the city of Norfolk, Virginia. I've lived here my entire life. I spent 33 and a half years on the Norfolk Police Department. The last 9 years was as a sector lieutenant in charge of the East Ocean View area. And one of the part of my duties, just one, was to do exactly what you want to hire Mr. Albert to do for $98,000 a year. Now, I know Mr. Albert. I worked with Mr. Albert, and I don't want my statements to take anything away from him. He's a commendable individual. However, there are times when in people's lives, whether it's education, upbringing, paths they choose in life, things they do, their actions have repercussions from them. It's cause and effect. And there are things that happen that impact you the rest of your life. This has happened to Mr. Albert. It's sad, but it has happened. I firmly believe that we shouldn't have a convicted felon making $98,000 a year, which is more money than a top-paid police captain on the Norfolk Police Department. There were over 4,000 replies in the newspaper to this thing, and I don't know how many of them were, to quote another speaker, little people. I don't know what he meant by little people. I'm wondering, in this job position, was there an application done? Well, I mean, I understand city managers should have a right to appoint people to do jobs, but that should be with restrictions. And I think in the past we've seen that there's been numerous times that people have been brought in as, quote, special assistants, and the next thing you know, they're department heads. And in some instances, I would say from my firsthand knowledge, I don't believe those department heads are qualified to do their job. We had a healthy apartment program in Ocean View that we worked for 2 years. It was a grant. The money was given to us. We accounted for all the money like we were supposed to, and this officer, a police officer, one patrolman, did the same job that you're giving to Mr. Albert for $98,000 a year. We also had what was called pay support services for many years that facilitated doing exactly the same things you're trying to get his job to do. For years and years, code enforcement had nobody in charge of it because they were looking for the right person. Well, they should have just brought him in as a special assistant and given him $98,000 a year, and we'd have been fine. I think that there are poor decisions being made in this city, and I think it comes from this council. I sent a letter to the council. It was specifically addressed to Councilman Wynn, Williams, and Mayor Frame because You are the people that I'm capable of voting for. I would urge you to share it with the rest of the council members, but I am opposed to his appointment at that price and at that cost.